One.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Women's Cave. I'm Jade.
And I will not
without my blue lipstick today, I feel like I have to be professional
because
y'all, we barely made it home with our lives.
We're not talking about that. They don't want to know that we almost died in a tornado.
Nobody wants to know that, right? Nobody. I'm just saying. So you know what? I said, you know what? I don't need my blue lipstick today. I'm just going natural. Yup.
That's it. I don't think I have any more bands.
You don't have anything left?
I'm like,
well, no, nothing. Reach down deep. Well, no, maybe there's a little well of silly in it. Come on. Dig it up on the deep.
There's no silly. There's just fat on the side pockets.
On the side pockets. Not the side pockets. What even is that in the side? Okay, I can't even go there. Okay, we won't live a very life. Guys, with my poetry, y'all. Yes, sometimes we absolutely have something fun to say. More like our co-authors do. And I thought divorce was bad. Here's the title, some of them. And I thought divorce was bad with other life lessons. And I thought being grown up was easy. If only I would meet a memoir in verse. Pouring coffee.
Widow's Web and Widow's Debt. And they're all available as
audiobooks. Check those out. There's still a little summer left. Or fall, or whatever. Still a little bit left. Still some good weather left in it. So go ahead, check that out at the beach. And you can find out everything your lady is doing. And also where my favorite book is. And I thought I did my journey alone. Yes, I have a favorite book. You're not supposed to have one, but I do. So it is what it is. At www.andithoughladies.com. All right. So y'all aren't here to hear about us going on and on
about ourselves. Yeah. Although we just did that. You're here to hear from our wonderful guest.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
I would love to introduce myself. Hello, ladies. I am Jen Graybeal, and I am a book coach, a freelance editor, and an author cheerleader. I always have a cup of coffee, although I left it a little too far out of my hands. I can't reach it. Hold on.
Yes. Yo, woman,
that's good now, you know?
After my own heart. Yes, coffee is life.
Love my coffee. And the other thing in my office that I have to show you that I absolutely love is my Wonder Woman notebook.
Yes.
Always by my side.
Wow.
I feel like she's an exemplary author, right?
Right.
Oh,
okay. So you know how anyway. You look and you be like, oh, is that another tornado warning? Well, I'm glad I'm home inside.
Another tornado warning?
Yeah, absolutely. And so I was just like, what is that? Yeah. So anyway, what is a book coach, and why do people need them?
A book coach can be a really fantastic thing. So writing a book is a very solitary experience, right? You have to put your butt in the chair, you got to put your hands on the keyboard, and that is how you get those words on the page. But when it comes time to develop a story, it really helps when you have somebody that you can talk to about it. Now, some people have great critique partners, or they have author friends that they can work with, and they find that person, that like magical person that really understands their voice and understands how they want to write their story, right? And for other folks, it's a little more difficult to find that person. And that's where a book coach comes in. A book coach can help you not only in terms of developing your story, which is something I do with lots of folks, anything from plotting out the book to saying, okay, I have this idea and I wonder if this is something that can continue through. The other thing that I do with my romance authors is a lot of times we talk about the industry and we talk about the business. Where are we going? What are the trends? What's happening? I have a client that I spoke to just last week, actually, who has been an indie author for years. She has a number of books out, and she's thinking, I think I might want to go traditional, and I don't know if that's the right choice for me. And I said, well, let's talk about it. Let's figure out what is it that you want to get out of that, and how do you want to proceed? And so we just had a whole conversation about it. And so that's what I really bring to my clients, is I really try to hone in on what their goals are and what they want out of this writing career. And then let's figure out how to set those goals and how to connect you and really help you make progress in your career.
So has being an editor helped you with your book coaching?
Oh, absolutely. So the editing work that I've done has really brought me in contact with so many stories, which honestly is the whole reason I became an editor in the first place. People send me their books and then I get to read them, and I absolutely love that job. But by reading lots of different kinds of books and taking the time to take a couple steps back from the story and saying, okay, what is working, what is not working? And it's real easy to say, I like this story or I don't like this story. But when you take those couple steps back and say, okay, what is missing from this story? What is not there? And how is it that we can fix that problem? That's really has been a fantastic exercise to make me a better book coach, because every single story is completely unique, right? Every book is completely different from the other books. And figuring out where those things are, what's missing, and what we can kind of dial up, right? We want to turn it up to 11 and just be able to have the best story possible. So that's where my editing and my book coaching has kind of overlapped.
So I have to ask the practical question here.
Wow. Well, Nona's gonna ask a practical question. I feel like that deserves a dance. No dance.
Okay, and she's never danced on this whole podcast thing before, so this feels weird.
Yeah. Starting new things.
Yeah, it is. I turned over a new leaf. Near death life experience.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Went on to get the question.
My question is, so can you tell us about the romance trends that you are observing right now that we should definitely be considering for anybody starting a new book that can write fast?
Oh, sure. So let's see. Some of the trends I'm seeing in romance right now, this summer has been all about rom-coms, and there's a lot of reasons behind it. So rom-coms, obviously they're light, and that side of kind of goes along with summertime traditionally. But I think that the state of the world has really sent people and given them a reason to find comfort. And so as we transition into new seasons, heading into fall, heading into winter in the Northern Hemisphere, as really being able to think about what those comfort reads are going to look like. So sometimes for some folks, that means going back to favorite authors or favorite books that they've already read. But if you're an author that's writing something, think about what your favorites are and where you find that comfort and what seems familiar to you. So it might be in terms of your favorite tropes. It might be in terms of your favorite settings. If you have a series that you've written in the past and maybe you moved on to other things, but you find comfort and familiarity in that old series, think about what you can do to put a new spin on it. And being able to really draw those readers, not only from your backlist, but into something new.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing.
I feel like I did that. I just wanted to
Did
say
you
that.
really? You just made
What
it
did you do?
I just, I took a series that I've been writing since I was 12 and I relaunched the series and just started from book 1 and started writing back up.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
That's a great thing to do. And I think people really discount the power of the backlist and what it can do for you, not only in terms of book sales, right? I mean, you've already written the book, so you might as well continue marketing it and selling it, but also using that as fuel to inspire you into doing something else, right? Taking that and sort of twisting it. A lot of times we hear in genre fiction that we want something we want the familiar, right? We want the same, but we also want a new twist on it. And what is that new twist going to be? So if you had a band of brothers, for example, would you take that same environment and do a band of sisters? Or would you take somebody go back to that small town and have people are moving there for some reason and they have to deal with the big changes that are happening in your small town. So there's lots of different ways that you can sort of make that story completely new to yourself, and then therefore it's going to be new to your readers as well. And that still provides you that comfort that we're looking for right now.
Wow. I love this so much. I feel like everyone should hire you as a book coach. I felt like maybe I should write a book. Oh wait, I only write poetry. Never mind.
That's okay.
I love that. I only write poetry.
So never mind on that.
So now you do write books as well.
I don't.
No.
I focus completely on being an editor and on being a book coach.
Okay.
That's my lane. I actually, when I was a kid, I have always wanted to be an editor. This is like my childhood dream, was to be able to do this type of work, which is super weird. I know, for a little kid to want to be an editor, but I was that kid that had read all of the books in the classroom, and the teacher is sort of like, go to the library, just go to the library. And so she'd send me off, and me and the librarian would walk around and try to find books I hadn't read yet and so forth. And so one time I remember asking her about sort of the process of publishing and how books make it to the library. And she told me that the authors write books and then they send them to the publisher, and then the editors read the books and then they get to decide which books are good. And those are the books that are going to be published. And if they're not good, then the editors help to make them better. And I went, okay, so people write books and they send them to you, and that's your job, is to read a book. That's the job I want. I want to read books for a living, and that's what I do. I read books all the time, and I love story. I love taking stories apart, and I absolutely love puzzles and figuring out how to take them apart and kind of put them back together again. I have a collection of Legos. I'm a big Lego builder, and I see stories in the same way. I see stories as being able to sort of switch things out and move things around and make something new with it.
Oh, we say that all the time, especially when we're like, write that first page. We have a whole workshop about it, but we're like, okay, so just write it along with us. But don't throw away those extra pieces that don't fit on the first page now, because you might want to move it around and you don't know where it's going to fit. Okay, so let's talk about you being an author cheerleader.
How much energy?
What is an author cheerleader? How much energy does that take? And how can we sign up for this author cheerleader?
So being an author cheerleader means being that person if you guys are writers, you know that sometimes you start a project and you're so excited about it and it's really awesome, and then maybe a few hours, a few days, a few weeks into the project, and suddenly that project is no fun anymore. And you think, this is the worst thing that has ever been written in the history of mankind. Who do I think I am? I am never going to finish this, and nobody's ever going to read it. And if they read it, they would tell me I was a terrible person. Any author out there ever have any of those thoughts or ideas? Right. So you're wrong, first of all. And two, you're wrong. Because there's a lot of different ways to tell a story, and there's definitely lots of ways to improve a story. But the thing is to remember that all stories are fixable. So whatever it is that you have on the page, it's just words on a page, and everything we can make it better. And as the author cheerleader, my job is to kind of stand in the background and say, you know what, you absolutely can do this. I've read your stuff. I know that you are capable. And if I see that you have a gap in skills or a gap in your craft somewhere, then my job is to help you fill that gap. If you want to be the best writer that you can be, then this is always a learning experience, right? So what are the things that we can do that's going to make this better? Do you need help with deep POV? Do you need help with structure? Do you need help with, creating the suspense and the tension that's really necessary, whether you're writing romantic suspense specifically, like in a mystery or a thriller, or if you just need that tension that's required for whether two people are going to get together or not, right? How do you maintain that tension over the course of 300 pages? Everybody that thinks that that writing a romance novel is super easy needs to figure out how to maintain that tension of why two people cannot be together, and make it realistic and make it believable. Because that's what I love about romance novels, is that eventually pretty much everybody in the world falls in love with someone. Maybe they fall in love with multiple someones over the course of their life, or whatever whatever happiness that they find. But most of us fall in love at some point, and we fall in love differently and for different reasons. And those are the stories that are just beautiful to tell.
Wow, that is great.
I love the fact that you really seem to love a romance.
I mean, and this is fabulous. So where can people reach out to you, hire you as the book coach / cheerleader?
Author cheerleader.
I love it. Editor even.
You can find me at jengraybeal.com, and I'm on Instagram at Jen the Editor. And I'll be honest, most of what you'll see on my Instagram is my very cute dog.
I like it very much. That's very awesome. Thank you so much for taking time out. And
thank you for having me, guys. This was so fun. I'm so glad you survived the tornado. So
us too. I guess I'll go ahead and wrap us up. You can find out everything your ladies are doing on www.antithoughladies.com. While you're there, take a moment, go down to the bottom of the page, see the charities that we probably support. Maybe you can support them also. We thank you in advance for that. And just remember, y'all, wisdom is all around you if
you're open to finding it and accepting it. So peace and love, you guys, from Will, no.
and Jade. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah. Thanks for listening.